Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel here, Your Energy Works. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Today I'd like to talk to you about the origins of trauma. We have this built into our DNA, three responses to any danger, any trauma, are fight, flight or freeze. Throughout the animal kingdom and the human kingdom, we have the ability to respond in three different manners. You look on National Geographic, any of these videos you see of animals escaping danger, they have three responses. One is either they fight off the predators, the coping skill of fight. They try to run away as a herd, maybe the herds here see the lions coming, they run away, flight. And the third response is that when they're on their danger, being chased and they know they're going to get caught, they'll shut down their system, collapse to the ground, the predator will arrive along, opposed to the carcass, breed, smell, bite the carcass, realize the carcass is dead, believe dead meat is poisoned, walk away, and a couple of minutes later the animal gets up again, shakes off and leaves. And the main thing in this whole scenario is their coping skills are kept intact to use another day. Now this is not a witch hunt. This is not a case of going after doctors or nurses or hospitals because our children have ADHD or OCD. This is just an observation of mine, a perspective I think is valid, and maybe we can create a body, a study of psychiatrists, doctors, maybe those professionals in the energy field like Bruce Lipton or Rupert Sheldrake can come together and create a study to see if this has merit. I believe that we make a mistake at birth. I believe that how we deliver children robs them of one of their inner instincts. I believe that when a child comes into this world, it comes out of the womb and it's like a death. It's leaving its life of safety and security into the unknown, and it's traumatic. And it responds with one of the responses of fight, flight or freeze. Now if that child comes out of the womb fighting, arms flailing, legs flaying, and the nurse comes and wraps it in a blanket and hands it to the baby, by wrapping it in the blanket, the message to the child in that moment is fighting won't work. Fighting will never work. Fighting is no good. It's a coping skill. Throughout its life then it'll only use flight or freezing. The same term, a baby comes out of the womb and its arms flaying, legs flaying, it's trying to run away. Again the nurse takes it, wraps it in a blanket and hands it to the mother. This message is flight doesn't work. I can never run away. I've got to always fight or freeze. Flight doesn't work for me. The third option is the child comes out and is comatose. Now doctors believe that it can't breathe. They hold it up by the ankle, slap it on the bottom, and it cries out, it breathes, and then they give it to the mother. In this instance, I don't think the problem is the child can't breathe. I believe the child is freezing. It chooses the option of not running away, of not fighting, but to freeze. And by the doctors slapping on the bum to get a reaction, this is actually breaking the freezing as a coping skill. The child now knows never to freeze. It's not safe to freeze. Its instinctual choice of coping skills for dealing with trouble, with danger, is taken from it. And it goes through life never being able to freeze. And we've seen it over the years. They talk about the child being hyper, like a cat in a hot tin roof, can't sit still. This is a child who knows in its DNA it's not safe to sit still. It's not safe to sit still. It has to be on the move. It has to be reactive. It cannot be responsive. I believe this is a problem we have created for ourselves, in our children, in ourselves. If you meet somebody who, because of that, they were in a state of fight and they were wrapped up in the blanket and they couldn't fight. They were told they couldn't fight. They never make a good leader. They're very submissive. They can't control. They can't speak up for themselves. They can't have a voice being heard. And then they're like the child who wanted to run away and wasn't allowed to. They don't fit in. They can't fit into any team, any structure in school or in work. They just don't fit in. Maybe they're bipolar. They're just reactive. They can't be a part of. They're always feeling apart from. I believe how we deliver children leads to these situations where a child's coping skill of fight, flight or freeze is taken from them. Now, it's not just anything drastic. I think it would be great if maybe those who are in the know, who could do this, maybe have a study for the next 10 years to see if there's anything viable in this, or if by chance there is a possibility that you think, yeah, this makes great sense, then from now we decide that when a baby is born, it's handed directly to the mother in that moment. No blanket, no slapping the bottom, whether it's comatose, fighting or fleeing, handed to the mother in that moment, let the mother hold the baby in that time, whether it's for a minute or an hour, until the child feels safe and secure and connected to source again, then it calms down. This means that children, when they grow up, they have their coping skills in place. My name is Richard Tierney, and I thank you very much for joining me today.